Three, two, one, go. Hi everyone, it's Nono here, and I want to welcome you to my live stream. This is Live 80. This is a live stream where I do creative coding and machine intelligence and many other things that have to do with podcasting, automation, writing, and drawing. I'm going to talk briefly about what we're going to do today, and we're going to get started right on. I would ask you to tell me if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, and we'll get started really promptly in a few seconds. All right. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you that you can support this channel by liking this video to support the work that I'm doing here with all these tutorials, and to subscribe if you want to get notified when I go live next or when I upload new videos. And you can also join us on the community on Discord at Nono.Masas Discord or by going to that QR code. Okay, so DALL-E 2 is getting a lot of traction. I would say its usage is addictive. They only let you use 50 generations per 24-hour periods, as we saw last week on the live stream. Today's live stream is on Tuesday. This is an exception. I notified a bit in advance because I knew that I wouldn't be able to live stream this Thursday. And you can go back and see Live 79 if you want to see an in-depth take on the interface of DALL-E, what it is, an overview, and also a demo. Plus, we also have an edited version. So this is, so let me actually change this because this is wrong. So this is how this happened, because I wanted to do this manually and I kind of did it wrong. So this video is actually 1039. So this is 1039. And that's how I fix these slides. All right. So I was saying that last Saturday I released a video titled DALL-E Explained. It's a 10-minute video in which I give an overview of what DALL-E is, the interface, how to use it, and some of the experiments that I've done hopefully will explain to you what DALL-E is and what it means to use it, or at least the interface that is available right now. And this is another example. I haven't posted this anywhere yet. This will be probably a follow-up video. It's me trying to generate a few things with a prompt, initial prompt that was given to me by Saurabh Matre, one of the viewers of the podcast and also a friend, also of the live stream and a friend. And so here you can see I'm tweaking the descriptions and I'm selecting and saving some of those images and getting results, right? So this is the interface that you can expect. And another announcement is that I'm editing a short episode for the podcast on DALL-E 2, a set of mini essays of the latest sketches, posts, and stories that I've published on the blog, and also blogging platforms, which is from a question that was submitted to some of you to the podcast, right? And you can submit any other questions at gettingsimple.com/ask about the latest or any previous episodes. All right, so here's a prompt. So we're going to start. I've been asking for prompts on Discord just a few hours before, and also on Twitter. So I'm going to go ahead and look on Twitter just in case anyone has sent any quotes so far. And if not, we'll just run this one and then we'll get started with a different topic, which is going to be real-time collaboration or collaborative apps, right? This is the topic that we wanted to look at last week. All right, so we don't have any prompts on Twitter yet. So we have this one: thousands of medieval weavers fighting over a futuristic dam. And remember that when I generated these things, I was hiding my screen briefly just so I could review that the content was okay and nothing happened. So, all right, so this is thousands of medieval beavers fighting over a futuristic dam. All right, so this is the prompt. This is what Gavin Burns told us to ask DALL-E for on Discord, and I'm gonna go ahead over here and I'm just gonna press generate, right? And what I'll do while this generates is that I'm gonna hide my display and I'll just take a look at what comes out. And yeah, so feel free to put other prompts on the chat or send them through Discord or Twitter or whatever. Okay. We got it here. So this is what we've obtained. Let's see. So these are some of the results. Not super detailed. I don't see the beavers. Have to say, this is not good. Thousands of medieval beavers fighting over futuristic dams. Let's just remove the thousands. Medieval beavers fighting over a futuristic dam. And generate again. All right, so these are the generated images. Let's put here digital art. All right, so here I am. Let's maybe put this camera. So here I am waiting for those, and these ones start to look a lot better. All right, so let's show these ones here. Maybe I can take myself out of the screen. So yeah, these ones look a bit better, even though they seem like rats. Well, these ones look like beavers. Right, let's see them zoomed in. Okay. These ones look a lot better. All right, I'll do once more with this one and then we can keep going. All right, so I just changed from many medieval beavers fighting to many medieval beaver soldiers fighting over a futuristic dam digital art. Right, we're getting somewhere. So we're trying to trick the machine into giving us something that we like. There you go, our beaver soldiers. And the last thing I'll do, I'm gonna put here thousands again. Thousands of, just to see if this quote actually makes any difference. And I'll make sure to save, so I'm gonna save these images just to document this for this live stream and also to be able to share it on Discord because Gavin Burns requested that there. All right. I think this is what you might have been waiting for or looking for. So these are so much better. That is crazy. I like this one. All right. And one last thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to choose my favorite. I'm going to do a few variations. Maybe this one. This one seems to have the most viewers or whatever that is. Right. Save that one. Okay. And this one looks pretty like a good dam. All right. And I'm going to generate variations for this one. Hey, so Crazy Dave on the chat says, can you create a skeleton astronaut, please? All right, so what should the sentence say? Skeleton astronaut? Just that? All right, and I like these results much better. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to try to save this, which I've seen that, if I click here, the name DALL-E stays here, so I don't have a way, because there's no way to save your searches. But if I update, I believe this reloads the actual name of the search that we had, and we can save that as a normal bookmark. So I'm going to save that one. That one. And I think maybe we open on a new tab, we get the names. All right, yeah. So we get the full names of the queries. And this is how I bookmark. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we can share these ones there. Right, let's see what we have here. Okay, let's pick one more. Maybe from here. Okay. Great. So with this, I can make a montage here really quickly. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if I'm making this right. So I'm making a montage here. 8K image of a skeleton astronaut. All right, I'll take a look at that. So it seems we put in this here. So I'm gonna just do make montage once again. All right, so these are images, and maybe we can make this smaller. All right, so I'm just quickly editing here to make our image. We can do convert. I think maybe Mogrify extend. Right, let's try that. All right. Let's see. Okay, so I think this is good. Maybe we can remove a bit of this. So I'm trying to do here the calculate the width of the image with the tiles that I put 2176. 2176, and this one should be that plus 32, 1056. Right, let's see if we get that cropped. Okay, so we get that cropped exactly as we want it. And now we can add some padding, right? So if we put here, so that is 2167 by 105, blah blah. And we'll just add 100 to each side. That doesn't seem like it's working, right? All right, let's see. Nope. Okay, I'm wasting a lot of time with this, which I could do with. All right, more or less. Great, so we have this one, and now we can share it on Discord. So we'll share it. We'll share it here. Reply. right? Great. So let's go then with Crazy Dave's prompt. Cyberpunk neon render of a skeleton as an astronaut. All right. I'm going to see, so I'm going to take here. So this is a cyberpunk render of a neon of a skeleton as an astronaut. A cyberpunk neon render of a skeleton as an astronaut. All right, let's go and generate here. And we'll swap to this screen. So I'm seeing it generate here. So let's see. It doesn't take too long. Okay, and yeah, so where are you connecting from, Crazy Dave? All right, so it seems like this is good, and we can see it. So these are these neon renders. Not sure if this is as an astronaut, but we have something there. You can save this one, and as before, I'll go back and save this, and maybe we can say here. I'm gonna add something here. Wearing a Daft Punk helmet. And generate. All right, so this is gonna be the last generation that I do, at least for now. We're gonna move on to all right, so Leighton just asked, what are we doing today? So today I've been actually playing a bit with DALL-E and letting people request things for me to prompt into DALL-E and see the results. The one that quote or text prompt that I've input right now is this one that Crazy Dave gave us, but I've added this part here and we've obtained these results. Let me save this. And yeah, I particularly like this one here. I think it sort of looks like a Daft Punk helmet. All right. So if let's take a look at this one's big. And maybe let's take a look at this one's as well in big. All right, so that's DALL-E for now. And yeah. So yeah, so this being for DALL-E, I am gonna stop with DALL-E for now. And we'll move to a different set of things, which is gonna be real-time collaborative apps, a bit of coding. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to take a look at other things. Now you can still send quotes for DALL-E. Let me see if anyone put something on Twitter. So here I had this message. Somebody liked it, Ben liked it, but nobody sent any replies yet. Can you please create a skeleton as an astronaut? All right, so this was you. This is how you found us, I guess. And maybe we can share that. All right. Great. So this thread is open, so feel free to post things there. And also this live channel on the Discord. Okay, so I'm gonna take a really quick break and I'll be back and we'll get started with something called WebSockets and real-time collaboration. Yep, so this is gonna be it and we're gonna go in break now. Okay, let's get back from our break and I'm gonna go and introduce the current topic now. Let's see. Here it is. Hi everyone, it's Nono here, and this is a series of videos that are going to talk about real-time collaboration. This is how to build online collaboration tools or collaborative apps that multiple people can use at the same time to collaborate on editing things. You can think of Google Docs or Figma as tools that let us interact with the same document, like maybe to write together or to design things together. And what we're going to do is see the technical details of how to use technologies like WebSockets or WebRTC or frameworks like YJS to create these collaborative experiences. All right, so that is just an intro for that, and I'm going to now record another intro for the WebSockets section. Hi everyone, it's Nono here, and this is an introduction to WebSockets. We're going to see how to create a WebSocket server and a WebSocket clients that can connect to the same application. All right, so that is those are introductions, and I guess we can leave that aside, and we can review some of the contents that I had here for today. And hello to Rob. Let me put it on the chat here. All right, so the topics of today, right? So this is a tentative of what we want to do to continue a bit progressing on things that we're going to need for the suggestive drawing collaborative application that we're building here on the live stream, right? And, just as a recap to give you some context on what this is, it's a drawing application that can be used online as a collaborative app, and multiple people, including also AIs, are going to be able to manipulate drawings on the same canvas over different devices over the internet. All right, so let's go back here. I have some resources. We built in Livestream 43, we built a YJS starter application that we can run. We saw this last week on Live 79, which we're not going to use right now. And we also have this smart geometry tutorials, which involve some content for previous videos that I have on YouTube. So this video in particular, it is a video on WebSockets. It's on the same topic. It's actually my most played video with 242 likes and more than 20,000 views in, actually it's like 4 years, right? We created this video for a Smart Geometry conference that took place in Toronto in 2018, and I didn't expect that by uploading it to YouTube it would have such a good reception. So we can take a look at how this works, and we actually have all the code here. You can follow that tutorial with the HTTP client tutorial, HTTP server client tutorial, and the WebSocket client tutorial, and the WebSocket server tutorial. So the client and server folders are final folders that you can use. So if we zoom into here, this and this is the finished example, and the parts that say tutorial are actually the starting point that you can use to follow along that tutorial video. But in here, what we're going to do is do a recap, make sure that we understand everything is working properly, and that we can get some of this running. All right, so let's go to our desktop. So I'm going to create or I'm going to clone this repository, right? So we're going to go here and do git clone and put that URL, and we're going to leave the original name. So we're cloning there, and I can now ls and see that that folder is here, so I can enter that folder. We have the contents, and these are actually the contents that I just showed you. The first thing we can do is we can maybe try to run the server and the client and let you see what these are. So I've cloned the repo, and now I'm going to enter here the WebSocket server folder. It just has an index.js file, and if we list the contents of the client folder, it has the same content. So let's open the server here, right? So we have the server here, and we can edit on Visual Studio Code. And let's go now to the client and open a different Visual Studio Code window. All right, so I'm gonna put this here, these two windows. We have the server and we have the client. And I think I have a shortcut here to make these ones really narrow, but maybe not that narrow. Okay, let's see if this works. So these are command line applications that allow us to run a WebSocket server and a WebSocket client. So let's simply open a terminal and execute them. Right, so I'm gonna open a terminal. I'm gonna actually close this. Note that if I run here on the client, for instance, and so node index.js, we're not going to be able to, because we cannot find our dependencies. If we go and take a look at what's on our package.json file, we'll see that our dependencies actually install a few libraries here, and on the WebSocket server install also a few libraries. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an npm install in our client and in our server. Note that here I'm just cloning the repo and trying to run the client and the server. We've installed the dependencies of the client, and the ones from the server are installing. All right, so here we see, so if I take a look at the node version, there might be something that doesn't work nowadays. So maybe we can say npm install force. Let's try to see. That's a bit dirty, but let's see if that makes it work. No. Let's run npm update, because we have a package lock that might be locking versions of our packages to all versions that may not work on the runtime that we have right now, specifically this 15 node version. All right. Okay, so here we have an error. So we're going to take a look at index at the server. Let's see what this code is, and note that I'm trying to debug the code to see what errors we're getting. We're using Express, WebSocket, and Path, but package is telling us that we've installed UTF-8 validate, npm express, buffer util, and body parser. But we don't seem to need so much stuff. All right, and this doesn't need to go here, and this is not a bridge, it's just like a WebSocket server. All right, so let's try to see here what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna remove the package lock, and actually I'm gonna move aside. I'm gonna rename. Well, did I move that? Maybe I copied it. Let's remove this. Let's try to do npm install now that this is empty. All right, so nothing there. And we can open this other one. So we're gonna do here npm. Let me make this a bit bigger. npm install WebSocket. What do we really need? WebSocket, Express, and Path. But Path might be already on Node. All right, let's just do that. Let's see what happens. All right, it added 84 packages. If we run now node index.js, listening on 3000. All right, so maybe, just maybe, I had some dependencies on my package.json that are not needed for this example. So we have Express, and it doesn't seem like we have other dependencies. So long story short, we do have, it seems, our WebSocket server running. So let me see, we're listening on port 3000. And we're going to try to run our client. Connection closed. It seems like it cannot connect. Maybe there is something here is not going okay. Right, what is going on? There might be something else on port 3000 as well. So that, let's just quickly try and see if we get a different port. Environment port. Okay, maybe we can pass a port here. So export port equals, and now we do node index.js. All right, so we're now in a different port, and we haven't checked what port this app is looking for. So we're gonna open index. Right, if server local true, localhost 3000, maybe we can bring here that same functionality that lets us take a look at what port is there. All right, and here we're gonna do the same. Let port. This can be cleaned a bit. All right, so let's also export port here to 3123 and run that. All right, great. So now check how in both of these terminals, the port variable has been exported. Or if I do this, has been saved as this, right? If I try to put here port 2 or something, that doesn't exist. I mean, it's empty. And I could do export port 2 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And now port 2 exists as a variable, right? This, if you do it like this, only stays on the session. And if we create a new terminal, so here we have two different ones. If I create a new terminal, now port doesn't have a value anymore. If I go back to the first one, port does have a value, right? So it only stays on your session. So that's why usually you might want to do that on your bash session. So for example, for me, if I go to my bash configuration, and I think, yeah, here, right? If I export my port, for instance, it's gonna be 111.222.333, right? So now my port doesn't exist here, but every time I create a new window or a new tab, that is going to get executed. So my port is exposed there because I added it to my to this file that runs like this ZSHRC file, right? So we're gonna take that out for now. So let's take that out. All right, so now let's enjoy a bit this moment that this actually worked. So I'm gonna go back and here as well. So we're gonna close here, we're gonna leave this empty, and we're gonna do in both of them node index.js, so our server is listening, node index.js. So this guy tells us that the connection to the WebSocket server was opened, right? All right, let's make this a bit bigger. And this probably works better if we open these windows this way, right? So what we can see, let's do this once more. Great. So we start our WebSocket connection at the bottom. And we're listening on port 3123. And now we start our client, which says the connection to the WebSocket server was opened, and the WebSocket server detects that a client was connected and receives this message, hello, message from client, and this other message, which is method set background color, params color blue. This is something that I did as an example where the server prints the messages that have been received as a string. This is just a string message that the client is trying to send whenever it connects. And this is a message that was sent as a JSON object, right? Which we could process the method that it has and also the parameters, right? This is the color is blue, right? That's what we're trying to send. So let's go and take now a look at this, right? So we have the code for the client, or let's actually look first at the code for the server. So this is the server code. It's a minimal WebSocket server in Node, right? So this is using the github.com/websockets/ws, which is arguably a blazing fast and thoroughly tested WebSocket client and server for Node, which means that it's good because it's maintained. So 8 days ago, they made a new commit and everything seems to be building properly. They have many releases, just one release 19 days ago. So in here, we create an Express object. So we load the Express library, we load the WebSocket library I just showed, and we also get the socket server property from that library, which in here, I'm unsure, but like it seems like we could also do this and this would work. So let's try that. Yeah, it seems like it's also working, right? And okay, so let's go back to the code. We fixed that part, so we have the path here. This is just to do this path join. We're getting the directory name and the index.html. This is our server, and I think this index and file, there is no index file. And I want to say hello to John Mark that is connecting with us live. Thanks. I've seen some of your messages across these channels. I know that you don't have enough time to join, but thanks a lot for popping by and for saying hi. Really, really appreciate it. And looking forward to hearing more about your thoughts of the latest content. So whenever you have time, maybe let us know on Discord. Have a good night. Yeah, and if you have ideas for quotes with DALL-E, put them on Discord and maybe we can send it later async. All right, so here we're back to All right, so I was defining here, I'm not sure what this send file is for. So let me quickly test here localhost 3123. There's nothing being served there. So I'm unsure why this index is for. What happens if I remove this part? Server, socket server. Yeah, and I'm sure of what this is for, if we're actually is necessary, but anyhow, we'll keep it there. So server receive message. All right, so this is the code for a WebSocket connection, right? So we create a new socket server. As you've seen, this socket server comes from the WS library WebSocket.server. And this is because this library can also handle client code. And then we specify this WSS on, right? We have this method that says on WebSocket connection, we pass this callback, right? So, and we can actually compress this here. There is a callback here that gets executed. And you could understand this as if my WebSocket on connection to this execute some function. And we could actually define our function here and just print the WebSocket element, right? So we could actually comment on all of this, restart our server, and when there is a connection, because the client is trying to connect, it prints the WebSocket object, right? That's what we've changed. That's what we've done. This is our function. Just that it's nicer syntax just to handle that here, but we could have a method called handle WebSocket connection, right? Or handle new connection, on connection, handle connection, whatever, right? But here is on connection, some function, which actually happens to be what we have here. So inside of here, we print that a client was connected. So we just do a console log and we bind this client, because this is actually the WebSocket client. This is the client that gets connected. Multiple clients can connect at the same time. And when they close, we just log that they disconnected. And when they send the message, we print that message, function incoming, which actually doesn't need to be defined like this, I think. So message, blah, blah, blah. All right, so let's do it once again. So we start our server and then we receive that message and then we receive that other one. Okay, so see how the client that is above, if I stop the server, it says that the client connection closed and it tries to see if there is a WebSocket to connect to. And when I start the server, on the retry, it actually finds and reconnects to that server, right? So connection to WebSocket server was open, and then we get that this is there. So we could actually take a look at the code, and we could see the handlers here. So right now we're not doing much. We'll see that later. And what I'm gonna do here, this is sort of a refresher for me. So I'm trying to look at the code and see, because I'm gonna prepare an example to build these things and explain how to do it from scratch again. It's kind of rebuilding a tutorial I have, but in shorter segments, and in order to be able to develop more content later. All right, so here we do have this client disconnected message, and this client actually, like, we could put here a unique ID. Let's say that right now, so let's just take a look here. All right, if we do here npm install uuid, we just install that uuid library. And as you can see here at the top, we installed it. We can actually require that library here. Let's comment this that is not being used at the moment. So we just do import v4 as uuid v4 from uuid. And we can print. So here we'll do uuid, and then we'll do here uuid v4. And then we'll print that here. So what we're going to try to do is we are going to have this unique ID all the time that a client connects or disconnects, so we know which client we're referring to. Disconnected, and this is the server. We know this is the server, so there's no need to take a look at this, but let's just do this. All right, so we're gonna run this node index.js. So we run the server again. To load an ES type model in the package.json or use the MJS extension. Okay, let's see if this works. Require is not defined. All right, so this is now working as a model. So import let's see if we can update. So this is updating the imports to, let's see whatever way we're getting there. To load an ES model, set type model package.json, right? So that's what we're doing here. So we set the type to model, and now we need to update these import statements. This I think is the same, and we can import everything as express from express. All right, let's see. And oh, not here. All right, here. Import identifier has already been declared. Okay, so import package from express constant. Okay, so let's take a look here at express just to see if we can see how they do this. Import express from express. Let's see, maybe. maybe this. Okay, let's go step by step. Okay, let's see. All right, so for some reason, all right, so 1 second. Hello, Bea. Glad that you're connecting online. Okay, so in here, I'm gonna then change this to as WS, and we'll just do here WS WebSocket server. And okay, and we remove this part here. All right, so this is now working, and I'm gonna put it here. So this is the server. See how now it is receiving those unique IDs, right? There is a client that has connected. So the thing is that client will give it a different unique ID when it connects unless we synchronize with the client to have some credentials, right? So let's say I am here and you can see that when it disconnects, when it reconnects, it has a different ID, but at least we know that it's the same ID that we gave it. So let's pull this down again. Okay, great. So we stop the client and I start the server. So we're listening on 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And I start the client. So we get this unique ID. And if we stop the client and then start it and stop the client and start it, you can see that the unique ID is different every time. But at least we can see if we were to have another window here and export also the port, we can do node index.js and then, oh, WebSocket is not defined. All right, so maybe we're missing something there. Okay, WebSocket open. Maybe it is WebSocket open. Okay, so here I'm gonna do actually change this to WebSocket because otherwise that's gonna be confusing. All right, so let's connect here and swap to the other window and connect as well. All right, so now we have two different clients connected at the same time. All right, great. So the client, so the server code is pretty simple. So when we receive the message, we print it. We have now that unique ID. And for each of the clients, we actually send that message as well. So the only thing we have left to do to see that is to actually get a client on a different window. So a different terminal, right? So I'm gonna go to the folder where the WebSocket client code is. So I'm here. Remember, I need to export my port because otherwise we're not gonna find the server. And now we do node index.js, right? So there is no server yet. But this client, right? I'm going to start the server here below. So this client is now gonna connect, right? So the connection was open. It's gonna send those messages. And I'm gonna clear up everything because now when I connect with this second client, right? And that's just a message that was sent by the other one. When I connect, this client is going to send a message here and supposedly should forward it to this client, which hasn't worked in this instance. All right, so let's take a look at the properties of why that happened. If client is not this client, right? So this is actually the WebSocket client, and I probably have this like this to make it a bit less confusing. So this is WebSocket client is not WebSocket, and client WebSocket is open. Client, we send the message, and for some reason we're not doing this properly, so I'm not sure why this is not working. Okay, so let's, how can broadcast to everyone else? Okay, so let's print this just to make sure that's not the problem. So we're gonna print here client. Okay, so let's just put here ready state. Let's put it as a string. Client ready state. Okay, and maybe to know which one it is, we can put this unique ID here as well. All right, so we have the WebSocket server again. We get our client. So there's one client that is connected. But the message is not really being forwarded. Let's try to see here. Broadcasted to clients. All right, let's try once again. And we're gonna check that this is right because this might be the thing that is wrong after I updated the syntax. Okay, so let's try. Okay, undefined. That is it. So we have here WebSocket server. Let's print this. Okay, friends, first let's print the WebSocket library. Let's see what that is. Console log in JavaScript. Okay, so what do we have here? So we have the WebSocket class, which has the types. All right. Can we, so this is WebSocket server. So can we simply import here WebSocket and WebSocket server? Let's try that. All right, message broadcasted to clients. All right, so let's remove all this noise from here that we didn't have before and see our example now. Great. So now we have a server and we want to have 2 clients here. So I start my, let's close the clients. All right. We're going to start the server once more. So I'm listening here. And there is a message from this guy, right? So this guy is also here. I'm going to close this one. Okay. Once again, clear and node index. So there's no client open right now. I open this one here. And now we're receiving a message and this blue color. What happens when we clear this up and connect a new client is that this client should send a message to the server and the server should send it to this window. So I'm going to click, right? And you can see that this client has received the messages of this one. The message received was hello message from client, which it's spotted as it's not JSON. And the message received subsequently is this one. And we realize that that's a command to set the background color to blue. That's the idea, right? You spread them like a command throughout the client so they can all execute it. And if you actually see that code, right, this is the, so this is the client code, the WebSocket client code. We also had the UUID here. We have some defaults here for the connection. The reconnecting WebSocket is a library that allows us to reconnect to a server if it goes off or like we lose connection and then we retry and we have to set up a timeout. And here we said what happens when we connect. The thing is like after 3 seconds, when 3 seconds after we connect, we send that JSON message for like the method and the params that I was showing before. And when we message, so when we receive a message, we print it, we see if the message is JSON or not. So we're trying to parse that JSON. And if it's actually parsed as JSON, it gets passed to the handle message function. We also have the connection close listener and the error listener. And the handlers are for client ID and set background color. So for background color, we say client set background color to blah, blah, blah. And this, I'm not sure, some Nonomatic, there was an app here that would change the color. But because I upgraded to HTTPS, this doesn't work anymore. And this is something we could probably try to make work again. So restore Nonomatic. That would be a nice exercise to do. And yeah, so when we handle the message, we just handle the message. If we basically have the handlers here and it says, okay, if there's a handler, if there's no handler, we just don't handle it. Okay, so this was a recap on um, WebSockets. Like as I said, you can also watch me explain all of this on, if you look for like Nono WebSockets, you're gonna get to this video, and this video will explain everything that we've done today. But the purpose is that we're upgrading things here, and we're going to make a few more videos and probably a playlist. So maybe I have to think a bit about what we want to do and lay out the contents and prepare a bit for that. All right, so let's record a few outros. Okay, this was an overview on some existing examples that I have. I have the code for a WebSocket client and a WebSocket server. We've upgraded it to work today in June 2022. And I would point you to the video that I've showed that you can watch, and also look for a future playlist that will feature different steps that you can use to build your own custom WebSockets application. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'll also remind you that you can like this video to support the work that I'm doing with the YouTube channel, and to subscribe if you want to get notified when I upload new videos or when I go live next. You can also join the Discord. So let me record that again, like we have it properly, because I clicked that without meaning to. I'll invite you to like this video if you want to support the work that I'm doing here with the YouTube channel, and to subscribe if you want to get notified when I go live next or when I upload new videos. Join us on Discord at nono.ma, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. All right. Yeah, I think we don't have more comments. I had this image here of DALL-E. So we've been doing a lot of stuff with DALL-E. You can submit your prompts. All right, so I'm gonna quickly take a look at Twitter and Discord just to see if anyone submitted new quotes that they want me to pass through DALL-E. And we'll do that if that's the case. If not, we'll wrap it up. Right? Nothing on Twitter. What about Discord? Much better than what I thought it would be. Thank you. New York City in the 25th century with updated architecture to resemble ancient Rome. All right, and we're gonna take a look at that. And thanks, Leighton, for watching live. I would say, do you have any questions before I go? Do you have any comments on what we did? Was that useful? Did you learn anything? What would you like to see in the live stream in the coming future? All right, so we have once more here DALL-E. And I'm gonna run one last quote that was requested as is. So I just pasted it there. All right, so I'm waiting for this to be generated. So I'm sort of like manually reviewing. And yeah, okay, so this is good. So here's what we got. New York City in the 25th century with updated architecture to resemble ancient Rome. 25th century. I don't think this is super futuristic, but this is what we got. And we can paste this here. What could we do to make this cooler? Anyone has any thoughts? Yeah, WebSockets is gonna let us build collaborative applications. It's gonna be really nice. And okay, I'm gonna put here in the future, New York City in the future with and flying vehicles. Let's make it a bit more futuristic. All right, so once again, I'm waiting here for the quote to be generated. Okay, this is so much better. You see, you gotta learn how to see or how to write those things. These seem like the Mandalorian or something like that. Okay, so this is what DALL-E gave us. Yeah, digital art is always like a good thing to prompt it with. All right, so let's save this and then we'll go. And you know, one thing that I wanted to do is like modify my sketches, but I don't think I'm gonna do that probably today. What the heck? Let's do one. Let's just do one. So let's upload one sketch. So let's upload one of my drawings and see what we get. So for example, the sketch I uploaded today. Let's upload something that is full in the screen. All right, let's do it differently. Let's actually just go here. We actually have a data set with all of this somewhere from the live stream. I'm not sure where that is, but we can, let me see how I find that now. Okay, here it is. All of the sketches, square proportion. Great, so that's what we need. So we're gonna upload here. All right, so I'm testing DALL-E, uploading my own drawings and seeing what it does and what it comes up. We click on upload an image. So when we click on upload an image, I'm just gonna browse through my own drawings. I'm gonna grab a drawing of a building and I'm gonna click on generate variations. Right, those look pretty good. I mean, pretty bad actually. They're like not great. I mean, they look similar from afar, but they have nothing to do. So let's try with this one. So this is a sketch of. So let's try with this one. This is a sketch of a notebook or a sketchbook. And I just click on generate variations so we see what DALL-E comes up with. All right, so these are our results. You can see this is the original drawing that I have sketched and scanned and edited. And these are other variations. So it also seems like something that opened. It's understanding it's something like something that can be opened. Huh. It's funny. It doesn't really quite get it, but it knows that it's something that's open. Okay. This is really interesting, I think. These variations of art. All right, so let's save this. Okay, yeah, what's really interesting is like if I zoom in from here, like a pixelated version of these things, from afar, it does look similar, right? Like the language and the aesthetics of it looks super similar, and it also has some meaning, right? So if I leave the screen for a second or I go to the other side, this is what I'm commenting on, right? So these images actually look really similar among them if you look at them from afar. But if you look closely, it didn't quite get the context of what those things are. All right, and I think not time for that. I'm just gonna go and wrap it up. So that was it for DALL-E. We just saw another set of like generations. And yeah, with that, I'll say that please like the video to support the work that I'm doing here. Make sure to subscribe to get notified when I upload new videos or go live next. And join the Discord community. So thanks a lot. I hope that it wasn't too bad that we had the live stream this week on Tuesdays instead of Thursdays. I'm looking forward to hear what you think. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.